Hi guys, today we're ending the spring series with this fiery red lips look. So just starting with the clean and moisturized face, I'm first going to prime with the Physicians Formula Spotlight Primer to add luminosity to the face. So just dotting that on each area of the face, and I'm going to blend it out with a paddle foundation brush all over the face. Next, I'm using the Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer to smooth any texture on the face. So just going over the center areas on the cheeks, nose, around the mouth, and center of the forehead. Then I'm using the Wet n Wild Hello Halo Liquid Highlight in Goddess Glow to just hit the high points of the cheekbones and the cupid's bow. And I'm also going to blend that out with that paddle foundation brush. You don't have to be perfect with this because this is going to just show through under the foundation. But yeah, this is another layer of highlight to just add more glow. Then to color correct, I'm using the e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer in medium beige and just taking that in all the areas where I get darkness, so around the eyes, nose, and mouth. And just blend it out with a sponge. This is a very full coverage concealer, so you only need a small amount. And because it's going underneath the foundation, you don't want to use a lot, just to keep things looking skin-like. For foundation, I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear in Sun Beige, and I'm just mixing it on the back of my hand here with a little bit of my moisturizer just to thin it out. And I'm taking that on a flat top foundation brush to just start to press it into the skin first, and then we're gonna press it in later with a damp sponge to smooth everything out and make it one with the skin. And just pressing that in with the damp sponge here. And around the mouth, I'm using it on the sponge to apply, just so I don't move around that color corrector. Then to conceal and highlight, I'm using the Too Faced Multi-Sculpting Concealer in the shade Sand, and just taking it underneath the eyes, bridge of the nose, center of the forehead, and around the mouth. And then blend that out with a sponge. And again, I'm just using thin layers because I don't want too much coverage here. And then to add a bit of contour and bronze, I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Stick Foundation in the shade Toffee. This is not too much darker, so it's just going to give me a natural bronze. And then I'm blending it out with the same foundation brush. And then I'm using the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder to just set all the areas that I've concealed. So just blending out any of the creasing first, and then using a fluffy brush to set. And then using the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot to prime the lid. So I'm taking it over the entire eyelid, just right up to the brow. And then smooth it out with a sponge and set it all in with the powder. Next, I'm using the Physicians Formula bronzer in deep bronze and just lightly pressing that in over the areas where we use the cream bronzer. And I'm using the shade just to warm my face up a little bit more. And then taking the Colourpop highlighter in on the cusp, I'm taking that on a fluffy brush and just hitting those points of the cheekbones that we use the liquid highlighter on. And on the cupid's bow as well. And then taking that on the inner corners of the eyes. Gonna go do my brows off camera, and we're back. So I'm taking that same highlighter on my finger to take it all over the lid, and using your finger with a shimmer just helps you to get a better payoff with that color. And also taking it under the brow bone as well. And then I'm taking this NYX Ultimate multi-finish palette, and I'm taking that cream glitter shade. It's like a really fine glitter, and doing the same thing with taking it on the fingers and pressing that onto the lid and even into the inner corners. And then taking that same bronzer on a medium fluffy brush, I'm just running it through the crease to add a bit of definition. And I'm definitely rounding out the crease to give it a more sultry, kind of sleepy eye look. And then with a fluffier brush, just blending that out and pulling out the outer corners a bit just to wing that out. And then taking some more of that shimmer to make sure I cover any of the areas on the lid where I got the bronzer. And then with my Modern Basics Onyx Kohl pencil liner, I'm just lightly lining the eyes. And you don't have to be perfect here, because then you just take this angled liner brush and you blend out any of the mistakes that you made. And because this liner is creamy, using a liner brush to smooth it out kind of helps to perfect the shape a little bit and diffuses the product so it doesn't look as harsh. So you can definitely just take your time here, and this is my favorite trick to do with any pencil liner. And then taking my e.l.f. Matte for Matte eyeshadow palette, I'm taking a deeper brown shadow and just pressing that in right over the liner to not only set it, but also tone down the black a bit more. And then I'm taking my bronzer on a smaller detail brush and just blending out the edges of that liner to diffuse it more and make it look less harsh, and taking it on the bottom outer third of the lashes as well. And then curling my lashes. Next, I'm using the Covergirl Exhibitionist mascara to build up the lashes, and I'm really focusing it on the outer half to give it more of a cat eye effect. And we're also only keeping it on the top lashes. And then I'm using the NYX Sweet Cheeks palette and taking that coral shade to press it onto the cheeks. And this is a really lovely shade to complement the red lips. And taking it through the crease as well. And then to line the lips, I'm using my NYX brown liner to add a bit of contour first. And I'm definitely overlining my lips, because anytime I use a brighter or deeper lipstick, I find that it closes in my lips a little bit more and makes them look smaller. And then I'm taking my Maybelline lipstick in Craving Coral and just filling in the lips. I did end up feeling like this shade was a little bit too light and it kind of washed out my skin a little bit, so I am going to top that off with a different lipstick. So I'm topping that with the L'Oreal lipstick in Eva's Red and just deepening up a little bit. Definitely like this depth a lot better. And then I'm taking my Urban Decay lip liner in the shade Gash, and I'm just cleaning up the lip lines. And anytime you want to use a darker or definitely a bright red lipstick, using a liner of about the same color to clean it up makes it look so much better. And then I'm taking this Jaclyn Hill palette shade that I've depotted, just taking that brick red shade and using a fluffy brush to press it over the lipstick to make it more red. And then taking that more orangey shade to take it all over to make it more fiery and orange. And then here I'm taking my Rimmel waterproof kohl liner in the shade Nude, just to take it through the bottom waterline and brighten up the eyes. And here I'm taking some concealer and a flat brush just to clean up the edges of that lipstick, anywhere where I've made a mistake. And that's the end of it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this look. If you have any questions or comments, please leave that down below. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more content. Thanks for watching. Bye!